Ernest.
Yeah,
Hello.
hi, Abu.
Yeah,
Okay, all
just
right.
go.
Yeah, Abu.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So I think Chesko, you can pick up the show.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Welcome to this edition of Microsoft User Group Ghana. Today we are going to talk about resource management securities in Azure, and Ernest Kingata will be the one presenting for us today. So please, you should just take some 5 minutes and wait and see if others will be available to join us. Let's say by 3-5 we can start, if that's okay with you, Ernest.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon once again. So it is 3:35 already. While we are proceeding with our presentation, I will be seeing on the background if anyone wants to join to moderate that part. Welcome again. So this is Resource Management Security in Azure, which will be presented by Ernest King Atta. So please, Ernest, if you are ready, you can take over. Thank you. Please, your mic is muted, Ernest. Okay.
All right. Thank you once again, my good friend Chesko and the community, for the opportunity to be a speaker in today's section. I must also say a special welcome to everyone joining us for the first time. I'm seeing some notable names. I'm seeing Samuel Adrani. Okay, so let me go straight to the point. This section is intended to get us familiarized with the very best ways to protect and monitor our resources or workloads in Azure. And it is aimed for getting started for people who need fundamental knowledge as in a way of protecting resources in Azure. So a little bit about myself. Uh, I'm a community lead in this very community, Microsoft User Group Ghana, and I double as AMS ambassador. AMS is Azure, Microsoft 365, and SharePoint. And I also work as a system engineer at Strategic Mobilization Limited. So that's just a quick bio about myself. Okay, so collaboration landscape has changed and connectivity is ubiquitous, and the ability to work remotely has become an ingrained part of the modern workspace. You know, now people feel comfortable working remotely from anywhere and on any devices. And for that matter, it means that we need a better seamless experience. And while this has been an enormous boost to productivity, it also presented itself with some huge challenges for security and managing security in terms of our resources in Azure or any cloud platform. You know, previously business needed to concern themselves with just a firewall, and that's the end of their security strategy. But now the boundary has shifted further. You know, business needs to ensure that their corporate data is safe while enabling users to also stay productive in today's mobile first world. So it speaks to the fact that the threat landscape is increasing and it's growing in complexity, and it's becoming more sophisticated. So whilst preparing this slide, I just decided to pick maybe a real-time statistics that is going on. I picked this from cyberriskanalytics.com. That was yesterday, just to have some heads up about our breaches, data breaches that is ongoing. So we can see that now security breaches, and for that matter, security in a whole, I defined it to be an issue which is growing continuously, and we have to tackle it with a different set of solutions, a solution that is very dynamic and very interactive as well. So today, at the end of the section, we should have a basic knowledge about what we want to use to protect our resources and workloads especially in Azure or any cloud platform that we want to use. So let's move to this reference architecture from Microsoft and also try to see how best we can make good use of this cybersecurity reference architecture. First of all, this is Microsoft's own framework. They use this as a sort of guidance, and this is being implemented. It's not just for presentation skills. They implement this as a company as well. So this cybersecurity reference architecture is also guiding us. How can we use this to our benefit? First of all, we can use this being a template for us to help us guide us, know our security status in terms of the organization's security status. We see here all these solutions and what security management or security protections they are using to secure their resources. And when we go deep into the presentation, we would be mentioning almost all of them, but we will touch on Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which we are going to zoom more into it. So this is a reference document that could also serve as a reference point or as a comparison as a resource that we can use to compare our own organization strategy. It will help us to know in which stage we are, because this is a very modernized architecture which is tackling today's threats, because today's threats have also modernized, so to speak. So let me move to the next slide. Okay, so we are talking of resource management in terms of security in Azure. So therefore, we have to understand what is a resource. So I believe that most of us here have heard about resource, Azure resource, but to define an Azure resource is just simply an entity managed by Azure. So whatever you have in Azure, which is being managed by the platform. So let's say you have a virtual machines, you have virtual networks, you have storage account. These are all resources, and you need to protect them. And how do you protect these from threats and other harmful malware? So a resource in Azure is just any entity that is being managed by Azure. So there are various ways to plan and protect, monitor the state of these Azure resources. We will talk more about Defender, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and we will touch briefly on the Microsoft 3 Defender services. So let me skip the Defender for Cloud for the next slide and talk about these Microsoft 365 Defender services. So the Microsoft 365 Defender is a unified pre and post-breach enterprise defense suite that natively coordinates detection, prevention, investigation, and response across endpoints, identity, emails, and applications to provide integrated protection against sophisticated attacks. So we have here the Microsoft 365 Defender, which is also a part of the Microsoft extended detection response solution that leverages the Microsoft 365 security portfolio to automatically analyze threat data across domains, and build a picture of an attack on a single dashboard. So whenever you see the XDR, when they write Microsoft 365 Defender XDR, this is just the extended detection and response. So we move to Defender for Identity, which is the first on the services. So Defender for Identity uses on-premises Active Directory domain services signals to identify, detect, and investigate advanced threats, which compromise identities and malicious insider actions detected at our various organizations. And with the help of Azure AD, identity protection, it automates the detection and the remediation of identity-based risks in our cloud-based Azure AD. So whenever we hear of the Microsoft Defender for Identity, we are talking of using our on-prem Active Directory to generate all the signals, the threat signals to help us investigate and detect and help us combat our threats in our organizations. So when we move to the Defender for Endpoints, okay, so we are talking of a unified endpoint platform for preventive protection, for post-breach detection, automated investigation, and response as well. So when you are managing your endpoint on your on-prem, it could be your workstations, it could be your mobiles. This is a plan that you can employ in the Microsoft 365 Defender services to help you combat that. When we talk of the cloud apps, is basically a comprehensive cross SaaS or PaaS solutions, bringing deep visibility, strong data controls, and enhanced threat protection to your cloud apps. So whenever you want to enhance your security in terms of protecting your cloud apps, what you have to look for is the Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. So it helps provide that extra layer of security for our cloud apps. So the last, which is the Defender for Office 365, also safeguards our organizations against threats posed by email messages and other collaboration tools, as well as some links. So in terms of you protecting yourself on your email side of things, you employ the Defender for Office 365 when you are hosting your emails on Office 365, definitely. So basically what we are seeing here is that the Defender takes kind of automatic actions which helps stop the attack and self-heal itself in terms of when we talk of endpoints or it being a user identity or it being on collaboration to, or let's say email, your user mailboxes for that matter. So we will be talking about Microsoft Sentinel in the next slide. And okay, so that's it in the next slide. So the Sentinel is Microsoft Sentinel is a cloud native SIEM tool. SIEM tool meaning security information and event management, which comprises of the 365 Defender, also incorporating the extended detection and response capabilities for the end user environment, and also the Defender for Cloud. It's also incorporating the XDR capabilities for infrastructure and multi-cloud platforms. So you can see here all these resources are aligned to the Defender for Cloud, which our aim is to give it the utmost protection in today's world, because it just doesn't end at your firewall. You have to go deep, know the status, and even proactively stop any attack before it gets to your resources in Azure, for that matter. So we see that same with Microsoft Sentinel, we can even stop the threat before it causes harm. And now with SIM reinvented in a modern way, it's providing Microsoft Sentinel to be your bird's eye view across the enterprise. So this helps one to really eliminate security infrastructure setup and maintenance, the ambiguity of, the complexity of setting up a whole SIM, traditional SIM, to get the insight has been eliminated. And also, the Microsoft Sentinel gives you that elasticity to scale. You can scale your needs and reduce, and at the same time still reduce your cost. So the Sentinel, in a sense, kind of provide us a holistic platform where we can manage all our, being it identity or our user environment or our infrastructure as well. So that helps us get a deep insights with good reporting system, just to mitigate threats even when they happen or before they happen. So we go to our main agenda, which is talking about the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Microsoft Defender for Cloud, covers two main broad pillars when we talk of cloud security. And this comprises of the CSPM and the CWP, which is the cloud workload protection. So we talk a little bit about cloud web protection and security posture management. So, sorry. So what is the cloud security posture management consist of? Defender for Cloud is helping us provide the right tools needed to harden resources, the right tools needed to track your security posture, the right tools needed to protect against cyber attacks and streamline your security management. And because this is natively integrated, deployment of the Microsoft Defender Cloud is also very, very easy. Okay, so we will be talking a little bit more into it in our next slide. Okay, so yes, the posture management, as I said, gives us visibility. Visibility being the fact that it will help you understand the current security situation and to help you efficiently improve your security. And one central feature in Defender for Cloud enables you to achieve goals in a form of secure score. So this secure score is linked to how visible you would be able to know the state of your resources or your workload. So how does a secure score works? So this is how it works. Defender for Cloud continually assesses your resources or subscription in the organization for security issues. So it then aggregates all findings and then compute them into a single score. So using that single score, you can tell at a glance your current security situation. And it works this way. The higher the score, the lower the identify risk level. So basically, you use the score to understand your posture. And with nice and very rich compliance dashboard, you can review your compliance with also built-in benchmarks, which at a glance, you have a template of these built-in benchmark, which you can enable as well. You can customize, sorry, as well. So when we talk of cloud security posture, it's just giving us the standards, the standard of our security requirements. We also have the flexibility of also defining how we want these security policies or security requirements should infer our security score. So it's not just using maybe default templates to just predict your security score. You also have that flexibility in Defender for Cloud to customize according to your own regulation, because every country or in any jurisdiction, there are a little bit of uniqueness in terms of compliance. So, and one thing to also notice that you can also apply recommendation and score based on AWS foundational security best practices as well. So they are not just limited to maybe Microsoft stuff. It's that's adaptive and it's that flexible. So in all this, we use securities definitions, security policies, security definitions, and initiatives to help achieve all this visibility and hardening guidance. So one may say, okay, so then what is an Azure definition, Azure policy definition? Simply put, it is just a rule about specific security conditions that you want to control. So there are again built-in definitions, which includes like controlling what types of resources can be deployed or enforcing the use of tags on certain resources. So how these policies work is that to implement this policy definition, whether built-in or customized, you will need to assign them. And there are various types of policies, just to note, in Azure policies. But the Defender for Cloud mainly uses the audit policies that checks specific conditions and configurations and then reports on compliance. There is also an enforced policy that can be used to apply to secure settings. So once you have your definitions, your definitions, you go to the security Agile Policy Initiative, which is just a collection of the Agile policy definitions or rules that you have just grouped together towards a specific goal or purpose. So all these things underline the mechanism to get you deep insights and also help you hardening your resource security. So using the Agile initiative, the Agile Policy Initiative, it helps you to actually simplify management of your policies, because here we are saying we are grouping a set of policies together logically as a single items. So someone will say, how does the cloud security posture management hardening works? So normally, hardening recommendation based on security misconfigurations and weaknesses. So you would want to improve this, and that's where the hardening comes in. You use these security recommendations to strengthen the security posture of your organizations. And there are a lot of them which you can employ. So that's a bit about the cloud security posture management. providing visibility and hardening. So Defender for Cloud also offers security alerts that are being powered by threat intelligence, and it includes a range of advanced intelligence protections for your workloads. The workload protections are provided through the Microsoft Defender plans specific to the types of resources in your subscription. For example, you can enable Microsoft Defender for storage to get alerted about suspicious activities related to the Azure storage account. So we have these Defender plans which you can use in helping you to protect specific types of resources. And you will see in our next slide what these resources, some of them are. So in this slide, we are talking about multi-cloud and hybrid protection in Microsoft Defender for Cloud. And you know, Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a native, is a native service. So many Azure services are monitored and protected without needing any deployments. And when necessary, Defender for Cloud can automatically deploy log analytics agents to gather security-related data. For, let's say, for Azure machines, deployment is handled directly, but for hybrid and multi-cloud environments, Microsoft Defender plans are extended to even non-Azure machines with the help of using the Azure Arc. So you can see in this diagram how a simple architecture depicting the use of an Azure Arc to other cloud platform providers, Amazon, Google Cloud, and even your on-prem. So features are extended to the multi-cloud in terms of the security posture. You know, we talk about the security posture and how it gathers visibility and insights using the policy. And the beautiful thing about Defender for Cloud is that even when you are integrating, or let's say when you are monitoring with other cloud service providers, you can get that posture without any need of any agents. Without any need of any agent, the Azure Arc makes sure it gets that insight for you. So Cloud actually, Defender for Cloud helps you to detect threats across Azure PaaS services, targeting Azure services, even including Azure App Services, Azure SQL, Azure Storage Account, and many data services. You can also even perform anomaly detection on your Azure activity logs using the native integration with Microsoft Defender for Cloud apps. So it boils down to a lot of services, and there is also a capability that you can use it to monitor your Azure data services, and which I think we've spoken about that. It also goes to Defender for Cloud can also help limit your exposure to brute force attacks. It incorporates even the just-in-time network access, which maybe on another day we'll just have a good demo about it. So by reducing the just-in-time, it also has just-in-time VM access as well. So it's not just even about the network only. You can also configure it to have a just-in-time VM access, which again harden your network by preventing unnecessary access. And you can set secure access policies on these, on even port for only authorized users and at a time you would want them. So This flexibility is well adaptive, and it's also very sophisticated, using artificial intelligence to help detect anomaly across domains. So let's move to our next slide, which has the Defender plans. So we earlier talked about the enhanced security features for Defender for Cloud, and these are the plans you can incorporate into your Azure Defender, which will give you that comprehensive and additional level of security in terms of protecting your workloads. So we have here the servers, the storage, SQL, containers, app services, and there are various ways, should time permits, as today. Today is just to have an overview and just a knowledge about what to apply and how best you can apply them. So it will not take much time to really elaborate these things. I hope it's self-explanatory as well. So these are the plans which you can enable, and by default, the Defender for Cloud is free. For if you have subscription in Azure, there's a free version of it which applies to all your resources. But to further get the enhanced security or comprehensive in terms of specific resources, you have to activate these plans in your subscriptions. And I'm happy to let you know that it comes with a 30 days free trial. So I will encourage all of us, just after this, if you are not familiar with this, you can just sign up and just enable these enhanced features.
Ernest.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for stopping you in this. Please, can you come back again and say, so you are saying that this plan here is already in your Office 365, but you need to activate them. Is that what you mean?
No, it comes at a fee. It's
Okay.
it's but the Defender in a base by default is free. But these are enhanced features, security features, which you will enable, and it comes as a cost.
At the
So
cost. All right.
yes, these ones do not come as a base rate, but the cloud, the Defender for Cloud is a free solution on any Azure subscription that you have. You already have it. It's actually inbuilt into the platform to give you protection of your resources. But this gives extra. Yeah. So
Thank you.
okay. So I think I'm getting to the end of the slide. This is just a walkthrough, just to show you where just to take you actually a quick start through the portal of uh, the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So I'll be sharing my screen, just a minute, just to show you. Okay, just a minute. Let me stop this first of all. Share my screen. Okay, so I have. Okay, so when you log in into your Microsoft Azure portal, and you just type Microsoft, or you just search for Microsoft Defender, and this is a free account I just created yesterday, so it doesn't have any data much populated into it. It's just to give you a quick start of where to go and what to see about the Microsoft Defender, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So this is a comprehensive dashboard, and like I said, it gives you that security posture, your security score, and the higher it is, the lower your rate is. So if you don't have good higher score, that means that the level of the status of it should tell you your state. So this is where you have the security score showing on all the platforms, like I earlier alluded. So to enable these enhanced security features I talked about, once you go to your environment settings under management and you go to the subscription, you would see Defender plans. And like I earlier said, you can enable these plans, which we had here, the servers, the app servers, the database, the storage, and the containers, the keywords, the resource manager, and the DNS. And you can see from here that it has a pricing scheme or model that comes with it. So just to give you an overview and a quick start of how you can just get on and try your hands on the Defender for Cloud. It's a 30 days trial. Should you log in for the first time, before you see this, you have to, there will be an upgrade when you click the subscription so that you can upgrade it before you can have the option to enable these security, enhanced security features in here. So uh, basically, this is just a walkthrough of the things you can do about using workflow automation to help you being proactive. You have the possibility of integrations as well, auto provisionings, and I mean it's a whole complete suite that helps you stay abreast and also helps you protect your workloads in the cloud and on-prem as well, because Defender for Cloud can also, through the endpoints, can also get you insights about your cloud resources as well. So it's not just even giving you your cloud resources states. It can also help with your on-prem resources as well as other cloud service providers, as we can see here. So we talked about compliance, and here is where we have it, your benchmarks, your security benchmarks, which you can incorporate and you can customize it to meet your own organization's way of managing your stuff. So I talked about being a past service as well. And as you can see here, these are features that you can enable. And by default, it's giving you that 30 days trial. And you can try your hands on it in your various rooms. So I would say that I hope that we can also take our hands on and try this feature. It has a lot. It is very deep in terms of protecting our resources and managing our resources in the cloud, especially. So we should all have a trial. I mean, go and explore about it and see what it can help us in terms of bringing our organization to the next level where we are protecting our resources. So these are some additional informations that I will be sharing with the community, my presentation. So you can also use that to also help you get started on Microsoft Defender for Cloud and other plans which is incorporated. So so soon I've come to my short presentation on protecting your resources in Azure. So just go over to you.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. So if I may understand, your presentation was basically about how to manage resources that are related to companies, right? How to protect security issues related to company
Yes,
malware that enter through mails and co, right?
exactly.
Okay, that is
So,
very insightful
yeah,
because just last week I received an email that was like, it was a scam email actually that came to our office email that you received a parcel from DHL, which no, I did not order any item for DHL. And they say click the link below. So I tried to click the link, but I was like, let me ask our security
team.
technicians, and he told me that it was a malware, but you can click on the link since it's we are secure. So I click on the link and nothing happened because actually I think the defender actually broke the link not to work. So in
Exactly.
this case, it can help. If somebody did not know all this, we just go and click on it and then will be exposed to whatever he has received, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Thank you
I
for this.
appreciate
Thank
the
you for
time and I appreciate the opportunity to share my knowledge about the Defender for Cloud. I hope that attendees would also try their hands and maybe get back with their feedback on what they found so far. I appreciate the community. We are here to exchange knowledge, not to present. I'm also here to learn. So I appreciate the time and the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Please, if anybody has a question, this is the time to just raise your hand and you just unmute yourself and speak. By the way, I saw Abu was raising the hands at first. Please, Abu Konde, if you have any question or any other for this.
No, I think everything is okay. The presentation was good. I learned a lot from that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abu Konde. Please, anyone here who has a question for us or who want to give us an add-up to whatever Ernest presents right now? Ernest, also, so if you can drop your slide over here so that others who can have access to it. Oh, I don't know how we are going to do that. Is it through email or we drop it in the chat here?
Okay, so I'll be sharing on our platforms, the Meetup, the Teams, and on YouTube, we'll be sharing the recording. So
Okay,
share
okay.
it on our
So,
platform, WhatsApp, Meetup,
okay,
Teams.
okay.
Yeah, so I believe that most of us here are already part of the form. Yes, I'll also share it on Teams as well. So after the section, you can still have it. I'll make it open.
Okay, so since no one has question, I would like to just call somebody out and then just see how it. Oh, okay. Kofi, I think you have your hand raised.
Yes.
Yeah, please, Kofi, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Okay, I think we have to omit Kofi. Let me just.
Okay, so
Okay.
your mic is allowed now, please.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ernest, thank you. Thank you very much for taking us through. I think I basically have two additions to add. I don't know if my voice is okay.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Yes. So I'm really impressed about how you took us through these resources and then we can the best we can make out of it. The little thing I just want to add is that for these policies, that these security policies, I would want to entreat us that before we either enable like any security policy, we extensively search on the implications on our other resources. For example, my organization is doing something like that for our Azure Active Directory. So we enabled a couple of multi-factor authentications, and we realized that we had deployed a lot of organizational-wide flows, like in Power Automate. So that user that enabled the flow was disabled because it wasn't authenticated. So my team and I spent some time before we were able to find out. So what I would, yes, entreat us is that whenever we get any recommendation from Microsoft in the Defender, we extensively look at its effects on other resources so that you didn't spend so much time as myself and then my team did. Thank you very much.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I mean, thumbs up for that point, because what we as administrators or engineers normally doesn't pay attention is that when we see templates, or let's say security policies, we just assume that since it is a security policy is good. There's always that shift of even bringing user friendliness as against security. So you just don't push things because they are just security. So thumbs up for that point. It's very necessary. You know what you're applying and at what time you need to apply that. Else you would waste time troubleshooting stuff which you don't need to. Yeah, so that's very great point. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Kofi, for that. You helped a lot. Before you realize you wasted almost a month just trying to figure out what policy you created. So thank you very much. Okay, please. Anybody else has some add-up or a question for this? I can see no one is raising the hand here so far. So, Abu, if you have any final word before I conclude this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to everyone, the speaker, the moderator, and the attendees. And I didn't see the attendees on video. Maybe that you didn't invite us to come on video, but maybe next time we should add that one. It's been a while we haven't met each other on video.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't invite you guys for video. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but no problem. It's been a while we haven't done something like this, so we start forgetting our way of doing things. I'm sure we come back to the same way.
That's good.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay, Abu, it was because of the corona, so I did not want anybody to on the camera so the corona can go through.
Now corona is gone, eh? And you are still talking about corona.
So Kofi, where do you work? And what do you do, if I may ask?
I work with a power producing company. It's called Gensa Energy.
Gensa Energy. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I take care of their business process management and then also software implementation. But then originally I'm a Microsoft hard head person.
Okay.
I really enjoy sessions like this.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, thanks. So
Thank
I
you very
hope you are
much for
part
that.
of the group.
So, yes, I am.
Okay. That's wonderful. Okay. So Nicholas, where do you also work? Hello, Nicholas. Sorry, you need to.
Nicholas Labo. Here is allowed.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken. I'm at Gridco.
Oh, okay. In charge of
software development and databases.
Oh, okay. So you saw your database there, eh? So
Yeah.
okay. Do you have Azure deployed there, or any Azure services you are using?
Yeah, we have Azure. We're running Dynamics, so.
Oh, okay.
We are deep into the Microsoft ecosystem.
Yes. I know Gridco those days. So I think they really love Microsoft solutions. Of course, it's the best you can have. So Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, very well. Thank you for your time. Yes, Chesko.
Yeah, left with one person. You've not asked for the person.
Yeah. Okay. Rupert. Rupert. What do you do? Let me see. I can unmute your mic. Where are you and what do you do? Rupert is a friend of mine, so if he will speak. Okay.